I guess we're gonna jump on to the next Disney topic we have here, which is the sudden announcement and the push for Star Wars: The Acolyte, the upcoming series that is coming out this June. They announced the episode release dates, releasing weekly, when it starts on June 4th, drop the trailer, the poster, the synopsis. It's a full-blown, like, hey, we got like 3 months to hit you with this over the head, and we're starting now ahead of Star Wars, next month, and a month after that, getting a big push. And from everybody I've talked to and everybody that's a Star Wars fan, they seem pretty hyped for this because again, it's not like anything we've seen before from Star Wars live action, which I think is the key here. So I'm pretty hyped.
I'm excited for it. I was just when I was excited for when they announced it. Just the name alone and the premise of it. It's like, you know what? It's something slightly different. It's not in the main period of Star Wars, that 30-year span or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Span. And then they dropped that poster with the lightsaber and the blood. It's like, you know what? That might be the best poster Star Wars has ever had. So
it's
just based on that alone, I'm in.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it was like the best first poster for Star Wars. It's up there in like top 3 because it's different. It's striking. It's like it invokes a different feeling. And then
it's a complete tonal shift from everything. Like even Andor, like it's a complete tonal shift.
And like watching the trailer and then thinking about where we're going and being a huge fan of the High Republic, like, the books, the comics, whatever. I was absolutely blown away with the fact that they're clearly in that world. It's just years later. Some of the characters from the books and the comics are in the trailer. Like they are there. I am just hyped to see 100 years before episode 1, how like Coruscant looks, right? All these Jedi walking around, they think it's peaceful. And then suddenly it's like, yeah, what's a Sith? They've been training for this their whole lives, but they never thought they would face someone that's a Sith, right? And suddenly their world is flipped upside down. And they just went through a mini war from like this faction outside of known space to them as they were expanding. That's what the High Republic is about. So it's like they throw us into this turmoil-ish style of Star Wars world where it's like, well, have at it. And how do you handle a Sith that you've never had to deal with because you've only read about it or seen it in like, a recording or something? Like,
I hate to break it to you, you just described episode 1.
I did, yes, but also this is before that, so they're gonna be like, what? Like, what happened?
It's like, yes, but it's not episode 1, so therefore
exactly.
It will be good.
I don't have to deal with, hey, I know where this is going. Like, there's a chance anybody in this can die. It's like fresh.
Yeah.
You watch the prequels, you're like, is Obi-Wan gonna die? Of course not. Like it took the stakes out of it. Here I'm like, well, anybody could go. And them talking about how this is a different style of Star Wars series, different style of storytelling. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to set aside any complaints I might have had with just small little things in this and just wait to see it. But on the other side of the fan base is like having a meltdown because I guess
no aliens, despite there clearly being aliens.
Yeah.
Like there's quite clearly a Wookiee Jedi, and that Wookiee Jedi has a top knot. So if you're going to moan about anything, complaining about a shaved head Wookiee, because that's
what they should be. I think what they are going to complain about or will complain about is that that particular Wookiees, you can only understand them by subtitles.
Good.
We
need more of that Star Wars.
There's just, I don't know. I really loved this trailer. It gave me that feeling of Star Wars that I really haven't had since like the Force Awakens trailer, where it's like, oh, it's something unknown. We're going into an area where you don't know what could happen with new characters you haven't heard of or, really explored in live action.
And then they hit you with a remake of A New Hope.
Yeah. Yep.
No, how it goes. I like the idea of the High Republic. I don't do the Star Wars homework like the book, so I'll do the shows at most.
Right.
But the High Republic stuff has always interested me just from the outside of it. So I get that like Mandalorian feeling here.
Yeah.
Where I I knew nothing about Mando's going in before that.
Yeah,
and then it's like cool, a different part of the Star Wars, just different part. I'm all here for it.
I'm waiting for a twist where at the end of like the second or whatever episode, right? Probably the end of the first episode, it's going to be like, Master, you never told me, what is your name? And the person's going to turn around and be like, Sheev. It's like, oh, you're the great grandfather of Palpatine or whatever.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
I'm
here we
expecting
go.
the Palpatine set up here somewhere. But, it's like, like Carrie Ann Moss, because I'm certain she's in it. Like I'm not 100% sure, but she's either gonna die or she's gonna be the Acolyte.
Yep, 100%. That's the vibe I got.
That's my like bold prediction.
I'm expecting something like that, and some sort of twist related to her. Like she's gonna be, I don't know, like she's gonna report to Darth Plagueis or something at the end of the it's gonna be something that's like, I thought we were getting away from this. That's my only concern. But otherwise, whatever. I like everything I'm seeing. I'm hyped. It's looking real good. Real good.
I also don't understand how people are going on about how the Sith can't be in this because they didn't exist back then. It's like they didn't exist in episode 1, but lo and behold, guess what? They did.
Yeah.
It's when they say they don't exist, that's not them telling you a fact. It's telling you what they think is true. Right? It's just the setup for the show, and then surprise, they do exist because we need conflict in this thing.
Yeah.
But hey, Star Wars grifters aren't literate, so
no.
It's like if you like read or listened to any sort of like high fantasy or sci-fi media, there's going to be legends that characters either think are real or not real, or think things or images don't exist, and in some particular instances a certain version of it does exist, and then how can we stop them?
It's like, hey, do you remember Lord of the Rings where Sauron was dead and everyone thought that, and then they didn't listen to anyone when he was coming back? It's almost like it's called a plot.
I will have you know, Mitch, that is too woke for me. So I did not, in fact, pay attention.
I mean, bricks and screws are too woke for them anyway. So
true, yeah. Nice. One thing I'm surprised about is that it might have been talked about online. I haven't been looking because shock, I am addicted to Rebirth in a minute. So I haven't really been looking anyway. But I haven't seen anyone complain about that poster. Because it's a lightsaber and it's got blood coming out of it. Like that doesn't make sense because it cauterizes the wound, right? So that's one thing I was expecting to see a ton of kickback. I know it's just a poster, right? But I was expecting a ton of kickback on it.
Well, no, I think the reason is that people don't realize that that's what actually would happen if you got hit with one.
I was going to say, technically, because you see, when Darth Maul got ripped in half, you still see a blood splat, right? But it's cauterizing quickly. So I remember like the red spray mist, right? From his.
No, you're right. Yeah, he gets a little bit from the bottom of the screen, didn't he? Yeah.
So I think you get a little. So that's kind of what it is. That's just my look at it.
Yeah. No, it's not that I'm complaining about it. It's like I adore that poster, as I said earlier. But
it's
out of all the things for someone to complain about, I'm stunned I haven't seen anyone complain about that.
I think the basic reason for that is like if it looks cool and edgy, then no one's really going to complain about it, even if it is wrong.
So it's like blood and gore, blood and gore. So it appeases the small 13-year-old boys' minds.
Yeah. So, like,
I'm excited.
I'm excited. We're gonna obviously watch. We'll talk about it because it's more Star Wars, and we want to see what it's about. So
no, we won't talk about it. Jared will barge his way on here.
That's
so he can talk about it, and we'll just be like,
true. Yep. That sounds right, Jared. That's right. Hey, Jared and Boar, and then 30 more minutes after. Here we go.
See, if I messaged him right now to say you just said that, nothing will happen. It's only when I say and or bad.
After this, I'm gonna just text him and Boar, and I'm probably just gonna get a roll eye emoji or something.
I need a screenshot.
There we go, everybody. That's a little about Star Wars. We'll be back to talk more about it soon. But